That's a hard one. So I'll preface before I start talking about this that a lot of my friends are in the military or have military service backgrounds or military brats like I was. So I will say I'm pretty insulated in that sense, where a lot of people I know are related to the military. But a few misconceptions about the Air Force, and then like more specifically the NSA, because that's probably where my knowledge sets the the most clear, or broadest. First about the Air Force, if you see someone wearing a flight suit, they're not a pilot necessarily. It's highly unlikely that they're a pilot. I would walk around like a Baker's, which is like a Kroger store, when I was in Nebraska, and I'd be in my flight suit, and like people ask like what plane I fly, and they're like, I don't fly the plane. I'm just on the plane doing stuff. I didn't say that back then, but I mean, say this now. At least we say it in private. But the pilots are like our chauffeurs. Like we're the people actually doing the things on the plane. The pilot's just like taking us where we need to go. So we're just as important as them, but we're not pilots. Another thing is like I said this already, but a lot of people think that just because you're in the Air Force, you're in the air. The vast majority of people aren't in the air. Um, Vast majority of people aren't even doing anything related to planes directly. Um, the Air Force does a lot of stuff, and very little of it is related to planes. I think the Navy actually has more like jets than the Air Force does. Um, so I know it's like not intuitive because we're called the Air Force, but just because you're in the Air Force doesn't mean you're going to be doing anything related to planes. Um, and then I guess the last misconception about the military in general. A lot of military members I know, and me included, get this weird feeling when like we get thanked for our service. I don't know, it's just really awkward. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or that people shouldn't do it, but like I guess um, I guess what I would say is if you do say it, be genuine about it because it doesn't feel very genuine most of the times. Just feels like something people say. Um, so yeah, I think people when people hear that someone's a veteran, they just automatically assume that that's something they want to hear. When I don't think that's the case. I think if you're going to say it, let it be from a genuine place. If like you don't actually care that much, which is I think for most people they don't actually care that much. Like just don't say it, and it's we're still cool. It's not that big of a deal. Very briefly about the NSA. A lot of people are very afraid of the NSA and all the three-letter intelligence agencies that exist in America. I'm the first to tell anyone that they're not scary and they're working in your best interest. People are very distrustful of the federal government, which I understand to a certain degree. But if you're really distrustful of all the little cogs in the machine, all the little 19, 20-year olds that are working for the NSA, like, I feel like that's more of an indictment of your neighbor than it is of, like, the federal government. Because really, it's a bunch of 19, 20, 21-year olds, and then, a smattering of a bunch of other ages that are doing most of, like, the ground, like, grunt work of the NSA. And I can't say there's no bad apples out there, but there's no like conglomerate of 20 year olds trying to go after your information as an American. That's just not happening. So hopefully that assuages anyone's fears.
Very interesting.